When Ford decided it was finally time to bless the states with a turbo Focus, of course they were made for everywhere but the US, you know that same old ancient story, they decided to hit us with their best rendition yet and made a proper hot hatch. With the Mark III Focus ST and RS, you can be the track hero of the weekends, then enjoy an excellent gas mileage of the turbo 4-cylinder for the rest of the week. And guess what? It's a pretty stylish car too. So you can still flex on Instagram, and those GTI and R owners, like myself, might have some snide comments. But these cars are generally considered to be pretty damn good. And of course, a nice set of aftermarket wheels will make them look even better. If you want a new look for your Focus ST and RS, a new set of wheels is probably the first place to go. And good news, we specialize in wheel fitment. Conveniently, both models share the same fitment. So this guide will cover the Focus ST 2013 to 2018 and the Focus RS 2016 to 2018. The 5x108 PCD is one of the quirks of this platform. This isn't the most widely supported lug pattern, but guess what Ferrari uses? So how bad can it be? Based on what we carry in our shop, it's not too far behind the ubiquitous 5x114 pattern, while being about twice as supported as the 5x100. In fact, we have just under 100,000 wheel possibilities in 5x108. The 63.4mm hub center bore is also slightly unusual. A hub-centric ring is an easy solution to prevent vibration. It also allows you to step up your hub bore to the size of your favorite wheels that come in, probably a 66 or 73mm. We said that wheel fitment is identical to the RS and ST. That's mostly true. While the arches, lug pattern, and other fitment vitals are the same, the one caveat is the RS's 4-pot Brembos. The larger calipers on the RS rule out most 17-inch wheels, which isn't too much of a shame because you'll most likely want 18s or 19s anyway. The main reason to use 17-inch wheel is performance reasons. If this really applies to you, or you just want to go against the grain, here are some 17s that are confirmed to fit. Braid Full Race A, Team Dynamics Pro Race, Vision 477 Monaco, Method MR502. Don't forget about caliper to wheel face clearance. If the wheels you're eyeing come in multiple disc types, consider going for the higher disc, more brake clearance. If you make a mistake, you can save yourself with a spacer instead of needing different wheels. But a bit of research can avoid this dilemma, so pay attention to our list. In our list, we included wheels that are known to clear the RS brakes without spacers. Naturally, this info also applies to ST owners that install an RS Brembo conversion. Now that you know the basics, let's get into the weeds. This 2016 Focus RS is on stock suspension. The fitment is flush or near flush with a slight amount of poke in the rear. The ride height makes the front look decent, but the rear is a little 4x4-ish. Besides the wheel gap, lowering would also give the rear a bit of camber, making it a bit more flush. If you're looking for a new set of shoes for your daily, a setup like this might just be perfect, and of course, not require any additional work. This car is on some Alibaba special WOA forged CE28s, which look a lot like the Volk Racing ZE40s. It's uncanny, but we're here just to give you the specs, not to judge your choice of wheel. We'd recommend the real deal if you're going to be tracking the car, however. So, similar specs to the last, but this RS1 is lowered on H&R springs. These aren't like cars from the 90s that absolutely need coils to look decent, so a set of lowering springs does a lot for them. The great thing about this is still no modification to the fenders, so still no rubbing, no scrubbing, and no, of course, cutting. These cars don't have an obnoxiously sized lip on the inner fenders, meaning they don't normally need to be rolled. Not surprisingly, these rally-inspired 1552 Turbo Max are popular on this chassis due to the RS's WRC lineage. These specs are slightly less aggressive than the last, gives the car perfectly flush fitment. Shop the entire 1552 collection on our site, threepiece.us, and of course they'll be in the link in the description. With 265/35 tires, you'll either have to roll the fenders or deal with a bit of rubbing. The owner of this RS2 reports that it rubs, but only during the most spirited of driving. These specs give you a bit of poke, so the natural camber you get from lowering isn't enough for that flush fitment. If you wanted to bring this flush, there's always the option of adjustable camber arms. You'll need about -3 degrees of rear camber, especially on those 9.5-inch wide wheels. With that being said, however, the 9.5-inch wide wheels really situate the hips of an ST or RS. Sure, as is, it has a bit of poke, but this is what we like to call battle fitment. Looking at you, Nico. We guarantee this car has seen the track. The 265 wide tire certainly provides more grip than it will ever need. How about 19-inch wheels on a Focus ST? This set of 4-star F14s fits the unmodified fenders without an issue. This shouldn't be a surprise as the overall rolling diameter is actually slightly smaller than the 18s I previously mentioned. Those thin 235/35 Fitment Fax tires come in clutch. While the last couple had a bit of poke, this is back to the sweet spot for flush fitment. 8.5-inch wide wheel and a 40 offset. This is the first car we've also seen on coilovers. Lowering springs do a lot, but they can't match the performance of a good set of coils. We got options in our shop from brands like Fortune Auto, BC Racing, Silvers, and a bunch of others that I know will fit your car. So definitely check out threepiece.us for all your coilover needs, and all those will also be in the description for your ease of access. So far, we've looked at fitment that works really well on daily drivers that can also be used on the track. Starting with this 2016 ST1, the last two will be examples of form over function. The ST and RS are good looking cars, so it's not a shocker that some people want to give them the stance treatment. You'll notice this is significantly more aggressive than the rest. It's rocking 10-inch wide wheels. So how did this owner pull that off? Well, in the front, he's using Anderson composite fenders, which give an extra ½ inch in the front. And in the rear, the fenders possibly needed to be rolled, but to get that fitment, that's exactly what you need to do. This, of course, has a bit more camber in the rear, so expect to need some adjustable arms if you want to copy this setup. This is an alternative use case for coilovers. Notice how low the rear is. Lowering springs simply can't do this unless you want to cut them. That's another idea. Another benefit is stiffer spring rates. The aggressive spring rates help prevent rubbing. Believe it or not, the owner has it dialed in so much so that there's zero rubbing. Scraping is another story though. So get inspired and try to get it right the first try. Post your own ride and help others as well. Air suspension is like a cheat code where you can farm likes on Insta while not ripping off any bumpers. Here's what a Focus ST2 looks like with air suspension kit from Airlift Performance. Still not as aggressive as the static car we saw prior, but this fitment is beautiful. The wheel lifts are in perfect harmony with the fenders. Again, if you want to copy this fitment, expect more than just a few bolt-ons. Besides the wheels and air kit, you'll need suspension arms, rolled fenders, and patience. Nailing this type of look takes time, effort, and repetition, basically. Keep doing it. What doesn't take time is getting a new set of wheels from us. We have all kinds of designs in stock. We can combine wheels and tires and ship them straight to your door, saving you a trip to the tire shop and possibly a lecture on why you shouldn't stretch tires. We're a huge fan of the Heritage Hokkaido directional wheels on this chassis. They are the greatest wheels ever made, in fact. Whether you want a stance setup like this one or anything else, they can come in any spec you could ever want. If you want to check out the rest of the Heritage lineup, we have it, of course, linked below. And if you want to copy this car's fitment, check out our vehicle gallery. As with most hot hatches, these cars don't run massively aggressive wheels. This is good news. You can push them pretty far before needing to do special work like rolling fenders. To reiterate, both 18s and 19s fit perfectly on this chassis. The sweet spot for flush fitment is an 18 to 19 by 8.5 plus 40. If you want to push even further, you'll either have to deal with some poke or adjustable arms to dial in that alignment, mostly in the rear. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, all the normal YouTube stuff. Check out our Instagram. We post funny memes, other car stuff, and we might be going to some cool future events. So to make sure you check that out as well. And if you have any other questions about your fitment or want to see a car we haven't done yet, throw it in the comments below. And of course, add your car to our vehicle gallery and you could have the chance to win who knows what we'll have next month. Again, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one.